Guys, welcome to a rather unique video that I will post on this channel. Now, for those of you who have been watching my channel since before it became Balloon Head Productions and when it was just Creek Fanatic 88, you will remember that I did a video called Thanksgiving Speech. Now, that video was about what I was thankful for specifically that year and for that specific Thanksgiving. And what I'd like to do today is do a quasi sequel to that video and tell you what I've been thankful for in this past year of Corona Hell Nightmarish 2020 that we've been going through. One of the greatest things that I am thankful for is that this year I had a chance to finish off one of my longest gestating projects that I had. I initially started I initially made up the conceit for this project over 15 years ago, and when a good friend of mine gave me some harsh, down-to-earth advice this year about the way that she approached writing and the way that she approaches certain elements of writing, after she basically sat me down and said, "Stop being a fucking pussy and just jump off the cliff." I am really glad to tell you guys again, because I did a video about it earlier this year, on which you can actually see the video that I posted all about this project on the channel as well. But Jesus, I mumble a lot. What I'm trying to say is I'm really thankful to this. I'm really thankful for this specific person for sitting me down and sort of making me jump off the proverbial cliff. She's a really awesome screenplay writer. She's the best kind of friend to have because she doesn't sugarcoat anything. She tells it to you straight, whether you want to hear it or not. She is brutally honest to a fault, and I think that's a great quality to have in a friend, and I am so thankful to her. And it is without any exaggeration that if it wasn't for her stern talking to that she gave me earlier this year, I don't know if I would have been able to wrap up this specific project and as a result move on to actually different projects that I'm working on now. But I'm so thankful to her for doing that. The other person that I want to sort of thank is a person that I've only really started working with. I've only been working with him for the past 2 months or so. Now, I had been a fan of this person for a while because I used to frequently watch his videos with his partner. He has a YouTube channel on YouTube called Armchair Directors, where him and his partner, basically, they review classic movies, and they review they're basically like movie discussionists. And when I got the idea to actually create a second podcast based on my favorite writer director working today, I had the idea of offering him the co-hosting gig as a part of Radio 815. But I wasn't really sure if he was going to take the gig or not, because I had known him, in passing. We would talk on Twitter often about our favorite movies, about how much we love JJ, and about other subjects having to do with film. But I really didn't know the guy, so I didn't know how he was going to react. I got so lucky in that when I offered him the gig, he was really, really surprised that I gave it to. He was really surprised that I offered him the gig, and he actually accepted it the day that I offered it to him, and I've been working with him every week, nonstop for 2 months now, and it has really, really given me so much joy to talk about someone who I admire so much, like J.J. Abrams, to talk about someone that I admire with someone else who loves his work as much as I do, and it gives me yet another thing to distract me from the day-to-day horror that 2020 has been. And I'm so grateful that he initially said yes to when I offered him the gig, when I offered him the gig of co-hosting this podcast with me, because I even told him this. I wouldn't have created Radio 815 if he would have said no. So I'm so grateful that he said yes. I'm so happy that he said yes. And I couldn't be more happy to talk with him about JJ every single week. So he is another person that I'm tremendously thankful to have in my life right now, and to be talking with him about the things that I love and the things that he loves is just great. And the last person that I want to thank here is someone who has known me since I've been a kid. It's my grandfather. Look, my grandfather, without a shadow of a doubt, from a personal standpoint, is possibly the second most influential person in my life, being that the first most influential person in my life was my grandmother, who passed away about 5 years ago. But my grandfather was the one that sort of put that seed in my head of me wanting to become a storyteller. I said in an earlier video that I produced this year that he took me to go see the original Mission Impossible film, I think in '96. And that movie made me, on one hand, it made me a huge Mission Impossible nut. And on the other hand, it made me realize that I wanted to tell stories for the rest of my life. It wasn't until years later that I didn't really refine that statement that I made to myself in my head back in '96 of what kind of storyteller I wanted to be. But it was because of him that my love for storytelling was sparked. And I am so grateful that him and his wife decided to take me on when I was born. And basically, I said this in the other video too, I'm so grateful that they found it in their heart to take care of their grandson and to love me like their own son. So I am so beyond happy that I have a family who loves me and, for the most part, supports me and supports me in my endeavors. And also, I am grateful to him because he has never really, except for one time, shown me opposition in my career choices. He's always been, again, for the most part, he's always been really, really supportive. And he has sort of left me to my own devices. And I find that to be so freeing and so inspiring, that he would trust me enough to do the right thing, to align myself with the right people, and to move forward from there. Because not too many fathers who have disabled family members or disabled grandsons would be comfortable with moving aside and realizing that although your grandson or your son is disabled, he has the wherewithal or all the marbles in his head to make the right decisions about his life and where he wants his life to lead. But my grandfather has, over the past couple of years or so, has done that in spades, and he has given me so much leeway with the direction that I want my life to take and what I want to do with my life, that I couldn't be more pleased by that, and I couldn't be more thankful to him for that. And in a much grander statement, I'm just thankful that he gave me he implanted a spark in my brain that eventually led to me falling in love with screenplay writing, and eventually led to me falling in love with podcasting and video making. And I am so grateful that I get up every day and do something that I love. I'm so grateful for that. And believe me, I am acutely aware that it is really rare for you to get up every day and be happy with your life choices and be happy with your career choices. But I am very, very fortunate that I am, and I couldn't be happier. All right, guys, so that'll do it for my Thanksgiving Day speech, part 2. Like I said, if you want to see part 1, it is, I believe it's available on the channel. If it's not, just let me know down in the comments, and I will make it available to anybody who wants to see it. For those of you who are going, what the hell? You have been like the most inconsistent guy on YouTube as of late. Where are your reviews for Mission Impossible Season 1? And where the hell are your reviews for Smallville Season 1? Listen, I hear you. I have been really, really busy with Radio 815, working on my Season 3 of my podcast, which, by the way, I feel that I should make a note here. For those of you who are regular watchers of my channel, you notice that Season 1 of my podcast was posted, every day in video form, every Sunday in video form on my channel for the past 6 months or so. That will no longer be happening because I found it very, very what's the word here? Very, very counterproductive to do the podcast, to do a podcast, my podcast, Red Wall Podcast, and then to convert it to video for y'all to see it on video form on the channel. I found it extremely productive. So if you were one of the people that like my podcast and chose to come to my channel every Sunday to listen to another episode of the first season of my podcast, if you want to continue to listen to my show, I would encourage you to go to your podcast provider of choice and just search for the Red Wall Podcast. There you will find all the episodes that I've already posted on this channel and new episodes that are coming starting in 2021. So with all that being said and out of the way, I promise that within the next couple weeks here to the next couple months, I will start making more consistent video content for you guys who, for anyone who actually likes watching my content, and I will be back with some more interesting stuff for you guys to watch in the future. But in the comments below, if you're thankful for anything on this Thanksgiving, why don't you just drop me a comment down below there and let me know what you're thankful for. But with all that being said, until next time, as I often do, say, I'll see you when I see you.
So much happened here, and so much is about to.